Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalam ala rasulillah. Then yesterday we ended up speaking about the types of plural. Jam taksir, the broken plural, with jam al-mudhakkar as-salim, the sound masculine plural, with jam al-mu'annath salim, the sound feminine plural. Here today we're going to start talking about al-asma'u al-khamsatu wa i'rabuha, the 5 nouns and their i'rab, how they make their changes. I'rab is, according to the definition of al-ajurrum in al-jurumiyya, i'rab is the changing of the endings of the words due to some element that entered upon it before it. That is the meaning of i'rab, the changing of the endings of words due to the entering of some element, some type of worker, as it's translated al-amil, some type of worker, something that does some type of effect or action on the word before it. That's the meaning of i'rab. So what are the 5 nouns? Al-asma'u al-khamsa. Just like al-af'al al-khamsa, the 5 verbs, they gather them together due to them having a like i'rab or action. For instance, the af'al al-khamsa, they are marfu with a noon, right? Ta'laman, ya'lamani, ya'lamuna, ta'lamani, ta'lamuna, ta'lamina. That noon is the sign of it being marfu. And when it becomes mansoob, you drop the noon. When it becomes majzoom, you drop the noon on all 5 of them. Versus the other parts of the present tense verb, they're marfu with a dhamma, mansoob with a fatha, majroor, or I mean not majroor, but majzoom with a sukoon. So this is why they're brought together, al-af'al al-khamsa. Same thing, al-asma'u al-khamsa, the 5 nouns, they have a similar change or effect that happens to them. The rule, واحد وستون الأسماء الخمسة هي, the 5 nouns, they are ab wa akh wa ham wa fu wa dhu. Right? Ab, father, akh, brother, ham, brother-in-law or in-law, wa fu, which has the meaning of mouth here, and dhu, meaning possessor of or companion of. Right? So those are the 5. We just need to memorize them first off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Al-asma' al-khamsa turfa'u bil-waw. So when we want to make ab, when we connect it to something such as Abu Huraira, we do not write Abu Huraira. Right? What do? We write Abu with a waw. So it's marfu with a waw. Wa tunsabu bil alif. It is mansoob with an alif. Aba Huraira. And it tajurru bil ya. Abi Huraira. Right? Same thing for any of them. Abu, Aba, Abi, Akhu, Akha, Akhi, Hamu, Hama, Hami, Fu, Fa, Fi, Dhu, Dha, Thi. Meaning Fu, Fa, Fi. Right?
Alhamdulillah.
Yarhamakallah. Dhu, Dha, Thi. Right? Then it has a condition here. وَيُشْتَرَطُ فِي إِعْرَابِهَا هَذَا الْإِعْرَابِ. And there's a condition for this i'rab to take place, this changing that we just spoke about. أن تكون مضافة لغير ياء المتكلم. That it does not have for instance, if I want to say your father, I want to attach it to a pronoun, I say abuka. Right? Because this is mudaf mudaf ilayh, your father. Mudaf mudaf ilayh is a possessive construction. The father of you, your father, abuka. Right? Abuhu. Right? Akhuha. So on and so forth. Right? Now, what if I want to say my father? Abi. Right? Abi. Akhi. My brother. Right? Hami. My in-law. Right? Fi. My mouth. Right? And then do. Huh? I didn't hear anything you just said. You broke up horribly.
I said, is that different from when you just explained that other part up there where you said Abu, Abba, Abi?
This Abi here means my father. It's going to be by context. This Abi, if I say, for instance, An Abi Huraira, as we read 2 minutes.
So
this means
that's totally different now.
Well, this is just the sign of jar. This ya here is the sign of jar. This ya here is the sign of al-mutakallim, the one who is doing the talking. Like if I say bayti, kitabi, sheikhi, my sheikh, my book, my house, like this.
No.
Right?
No.
So when it becomes abi, then you won't see any changes. So for instance, if I said abi muhandis, my father is a engineer. Here abi, ab is marfu'. But because of the ya al-mutakallim, we don't get to see the sign of marfu', which is a wow here. We don't get to see that, right? If I said ra'aytu abi, I saw my father, right? Abi here is mansub, right? I saw who? I saw my father. He's the object of my seeing. However, because of this ya al-mutakallim, I don't get to see the sign of nasb here, which is the alif in these 5. And if I said hada min abi, this is from my father. This is majroor, but this is not the ya of jar. This is the ya of me talking still, just like it was here and just like it was here. So some of this you get from the context, but in general, ab wa akh wa ham wa fu wa dhu, they're marfu with a dhamma, mansub with an alif, majroor with the ya. Right? And this condition here, as long as the ya is not the person doing the talking. Huh? What'd you say, Abu Sumaya?
Sorry, I was talking to my dad here.
Yeah, well, I can't tell that. You know.
Yeah, King is telling me.
طيب. علامات التأنيث في الأفعال. The signs of ta'nith, meaning the word mu'annath, feminine. The signs of a verb or verbs being mu'annath. There are some signs. Doesn't mean that it has to have one of these signs. And it doesn't mean that if you see one of them that it's definitely feminine. But these are a sign that it's probably or could be feminine. Some of them, they are feminine when you see it, such as إذا كان الفاعل مؤنثا, if the doer of the verb is mu'annith, كان الفعل مؤنثا, then the fi'l, the verb is mu'annith. If the fa'il is mu'annith, then the fi'l is mu'annith. So you're not going to say Aisha akala or qala Aisha. No, you're going to say qalat. Aisha. Aisha akalat. You're going to make it feminine. If the subject of the verb, the doer of the verb, the fa'il is feminine, then the verb, the fi'l, is going to be feminine. That's rule 1. That's easy for us. Number 2, علامات التأنيث في الفعل الماضي تاء ساكنة في آخره. The sign of femininity, or the sign of being feminine for the past tense verb, is a ta as-sakina fi akhirih. So, like I said, qalat. The sakina. This is a sign of being feminine. Akalat, jalasat, right? Rakibat, darabat. Whatever the case is, it's the sign of feminine. Whenever you see this ta ta'nith as-sakina in a past tense verb, it's always going to be feminine. علامات التأنيث في الفعل المضارع. The sign of being feminine in the present tense verb. تاء متحركة في أوله. So, for instance, تقول. Now, right? تقول. She said. تقول can also be you said. And you can also have taqulani, taquluna, right? You can also have, so there are, this one is not always going to be the sign of being feminine, this ta mutaharika, yet it is a sign. It is a sign, but it could be masculine or it could be feminine, right? So when we make our in the fi'l mudari', let me see. Naam, in the fi'l mudari', we have ta, right? We have ta in the beginning of some masculine, such as taqulu, taqulani, taquluna. The ta appears. But when we have taqulina, taqulani, taqulna, then here it's a sign of it being feminine, right? It's an indicator. Here we might use the word indicator instead of sign, right? It's possible. Any questions?
No.
Oh yeah. Like I said, this stuff here, we've been over it a lot of times. It's easy. Alamatu ta'nith fil asma. The signs of, the feminine signs of nouns. Alamatu ta'nith fil asma. The signs of nouns being feminine. Thalathun, are 3. تتصل بآخر الأسماء. They are attached at the end of nouns. And they are ta mutaharrika, right? Or alif maksura, or alif mamduda. But this ta mutaharrika, it really means ta marbuta. And I'm going to go here in the book and see if it doesn't say ta marbuta. Because it could be just a mistake of the person who put this PDF together. Let me see, that's still yep. It says ta mutaharrika, but it means, here it says ta mutaharrika, lakin it means ta marbuta, right? They have the meaning of ta marbuta here. So alamat al-ta'nith al-asma' thalatha, the signs of a feminine noun are 3. Attached at the end, tattasilu bi akhir al-asma', they are attached at the end of word, at the end of the nouns. They are the ta mutaharrika or the ta marbuta, the alif maksura, and the alif mamduda. So if you see the word asa, stick or staff, it's feminine because of this alif mamduda, right? You see the word مستشفى 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 is feminine because of the alif maksura. I got the two dots here. They shouldn't be there. Alif maksura without these two dots here, right? Ta marbuta, alif maksura, and alif, not the ya. I had it with the two dots. I apologize. The next rule, قد يكون الاسم المؤنث خاليا من علامات التأنيث. It could be that the feminine noun is free from a sign of being feminine. For instance, al-ard is a feminine noun. It does not have a ta marbuta, an alif maksura, or an alif mamduda. Ash-shams is a feminine noun. It does not have any of them. Right? Al-the mother, does not have them. Al-ukht, right? It does not have any of them. But definitely ukht and are feminine. Al-harb, right? War is feminine. Does not have any of these three signs. Right? So it's going to have one of these three signs. An alif mamduda, an alif maksura, or a ta marbuta. Or it could not have any of those signs, as we've discussed this many times before. Correct? Abdullah?
Yeah. No.
Going to sleep? This is so easy, huh?
Nah.
An-nakira.
I'm just trying to read this stuff without the loud.
An-nakira wal-ma'rifa. An-nakira wal-ma'rifa. Indefinite and definite. An-nakira is indefinite. Al-ma'rifa is definite. Right? Rule number 68. An-nakira ismun yadullu ala shay'in ghayri mu'ayyinin. It is a noun which indicates something which is not specific. Indefinite. We already understand this in English, right? We didn't say indefinite. We say indefinite or definite. We don't even read a definition for real. We're just learning the terminology. An-nakira ismun yadullu ala shay'in ghayri mu'ayyinin. Wal ma'rifatu ismun yadullu ala shay'in mu'ayyinin. That a ma'rifa, a definite noun, is a noun which indicates something specific. We already know that, right? Well, yeah. Now we're going to get into some definite and indefinite nouns or indicators, different ways of nouns being definite. It's not always just with alif lam, right? There are other ways that something can be definite. Al-alam. Al-alam is a proper noun or a proper name. A proper noun. Right? Al-alam ismun ma'rifatun. It's a definite noun. Sumya bihi shakhsun أو مكان أو حيوان أو أي شيء أو أي شيء آخر. That it is what is called by it. A person, a place, an animal, or any other thing is called by it. Sumya bihi. It's what you call that thing. That mountain is the mountain of Uhud. Right? That place is Medina. That place is, for instance, Mecca. Mecca does not have alif lam, but it's the name of the place, and it's ma'rifa. It's definite. We don't think of Mecca being any other place except in Saudi Arabia. And this shows the kuffar when they say Atlanta is the Mecca of black people, and this place is the Mecca of music, and this place is, it shows them they're using our words, our terminologies, our istilahat without even realizing it, right? They're showing this is the center and this is the gathering place of these people of such and such, right? This is the Mecca. This is the meaning of Mecca. Al-alam, proper nouns. Ismun ma'rifatun سمي به شخص أو مكان أو حيوان أو أي شيء أي شيء آخر, or any other thing. That's an alam. If it has a name, you name your car Betsy. That car, right, is Betsy. That's its name. Right? Is it clear? Muhammad does not need an alif lam. Fatima does not need an alif lam. When I say Muhammad, now if there's 3 or 4 Muhammads, then we might have to clarify it. The tall one, the short one, the whatever. But it's still a known. When we say, for instance, house, when we say house, right? What house? Could be any of them. Even if we're on a street and every other street in the neighborhood is empty, it hasn't been developed yet. Only houses on this street. We say house, we think of every house on that street. Whereas if we say Muhammad and there's 10 people in a room, 4 people come to mind. 4 Muhammads, 4 people come to mind. It's specific. Now we need to figure out which one of them. But anyway, it's a definite person. Right? Even if we say house on this one street and all the other streets are empty, we got images of houses in other places. Whereas we say Muhammad, even if there's 40 Muhammads in the big room, like in a Quran competition or something, then at least 40 specific people come to mind. Now we just have to narrow them down. Al-Mu'arraf bi alif wal lam, that which is made definite by alif wal lam. إذا دخلت الألف واللام على اسم ناكرة جعلته معرفة. If alif wal lam are entered upon an indefinite noun, then that alif wal lam makes it definite, which we already know. Bait, masjid, al-bayt, al-masjid, al-kitab, all of that. We already know that. It's too easy. Am I right or wrong?
So, now I know they're saying aleph and lam.
Uh-huh.
But I guess, I don't know, maybe we just learned aleph lam, like it just go together.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is an aleph and a lam. Aleph lam. And
yeah, I know, but
it sounds funny to you, maybe, but for instance, the name of this letter here is aleph. And the name of this letter here is lam. Right? So we say,
yeah, I know that.
Oh, okay. If you have this person here, Muhammad, and you have this person here, Hassan, you don't say, even if they're always together, you don't say Muhammad Hassan. You say Muhammad or Hassan. Right? Because they don't become one. If you say alif lam without the waw, then they become one. Right? And the lam can appear by itself and the alif can appear. I understand what you're saying, but it's alif wal lam. They either, the people, according to the different schools, they either call it alif wal lam, as you see it here, or they call it al. Some of the schools, they say إذا دخلت al على الاسم, and some of them say إذا دخلت alif wal lam. Right? But alif lam is not the name of anything, right? Alif lam is just one thing. There is no wa. Wa means 2 things. And alif lam is 2 things, not one. Even though I definitely understand. It's called alif wal lam, not alif lam. But if you say it like that, no problem. These are terminologies. No one is... First off, we should adopt the terminologies of those who came before us, because this is their language, their sciences, and we're trying to learn it. But if that's what makes it easy for you, like I'm telling you, for instance, nakira means indefinite. They called it nakira, and I'm telling you indefinite. right? So if in my language it's easier to say, I make 5 salats in a day, right? Instead of saying salawat, khamsu salawat, if I have to put an S on the end instead of saying salawat, then no problem. I'm speaking in my language. But properly, it's called alif wa lam. But if you call it alif lam, or I say alif lam and you say it just to make it easy, no problem. But the proper terminology is alif wa lam.
No.
Ad-damir, pronouns. Pronouns. Ad-damir, ismun. Pronouns are nouns, right? Ma'rifa, definite nouns. يدل على المتكلم أو المخاطب أو الغائب. It talks about the speaker, the one doing it, they refer to, they indicate. The one doing the speaking, such as I or we. When I'm talking, I say I or we. I'm talking about me. The mukhatab, the one being spoken to, you. Whether it be male, female, dual, singular, plural, you in English. O al-ghaib, he, she, they. Right? He, she, and they. So, ad-damir is a ismun, it's a noun. Ma'rifatun, a definite noun. يدل على المتكلم أو المخاطب أو الغائب. It refers to or indicates the one doing the talking, the one being talked to, or the one being talked about, or spoken to, or spoken about. That's what a damir is. So we say ana and nahnu. Right? Here, when it comes to you, we say anta, antuma, antum, anti, antunna. Right? We got 5 of them when it comes to you. Right? And when it comes to al-ghaib, we have huwa, huma, hum, hiya, huma, hunna. We have 5 there as well because huma is repeated. Right? Huma is repeated. And here we only have 2. So this is what a damir is. Any questions about that part? The plural of damir, just for damair. Damair. Right? That's the plural. طيب. الضمير المنفصل. الضمير المنفصل meaning منفصل from fa, sad, lam meaning separate. Right? A separate or unattached or a detached pronoun. The rule الثلاثة والسبعين or ثلاثة والسبعون الضمير المنفصل the separate or unattached or detached pronoun ما يمكن النطق به وحده من غير أن يتصل بكلمة أخرى. It's what it's possible to pronounce it without attaching it to another word. So I could say ana, anta, huwa, hum, right? Nahnu. I could say all of that. I don't have to have it attached to another noun. So we never say ka. We never say ki. We never say ta. We never say na. Right? We never say e. Right? We never say who or ha. We don't talk like that. We say hiya, huwa, anta, nahnu, so on and so forth, right? So ad-damir al-munfasil is what is able to, this is a technical definition, what's able to be pronounced by itself without attaching it to another word. Clear?
No.
الضمائر المنفصلة الخاصة بالرفع, because we have some which are mansub, right? Those which are munfasila, and they are specifically marfu'. They are anna, not anna, ana, not with a shadda on the noon, ana, right? Lil mutakallim, for the one doing the talking. Nahnu, lil mutakallimin, for those who are doing the talking. We. Anta, lil mukhatab, for the one being spoken to. Anti, lil mukhataba, for the one being spoken to, feminine. Antuma, lil mukhatabain, or al mukhatabatain. So you use this for the two people who are being spoken to, whether they're male or female. Antum lil mukhatabin, for those who are being spoken to, plural. Antunna lil mukhatabat, for those feminine, three or more that you're speaking to. Huwa lil ghaib, for the one who is absent, right? Hiya lil ghaiba, for the female who is absent. Hum lil ghaibin, for those who are absent, three or more. Hunna lil ghaibat, those females who are absent, three or more. Huma lil ghaibain, or al ghaibatain, for those two. Huma is for those two who are absent, whether they are male or female. Right? This is just going over what is called. If you want to learn this, this is an excellent thing to learn, this chart. The words al-mutakallim, al-mukhatab, and al-ghaib. And if you know how to make a noun feminine, then all you have to do is add the ta marbuta. And if you know how to make it plural, then all you have to do is add the waw wa noon, or ya wa noon, or alif wa ta, and so on and so forth. So it's easy. This should not be confusing. It's only three words. Al-mutakallim, al-mutakallimin. Right? Al-mutakallim, al-mutakallimin. That's for the plural. Al or mutakallimun. But because of the li, meaning for the mutakallimun, so we say for the mutakallimin. And then mukhatab for male, mukhataba female, mukhatabain, mukhatabatain, that's dual, feminine, masculine, and feminine. Mukhatabin, right, is really originally mukhatabun. Just like mukhatabain was originally mukhataban and mukhatabatan, but because of the li, it made it majroor. So this chart should not be a difficult chart. You just have to memorize these 15 dama'ir, these 15 pronouns. Clear, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the definition. The main thing is that you know what the pronouns are. When you see huma, you know it's talking about two and a third person. This is just a definition to help you memorize. It's going to help you grow your Arabic. If you're able to see those things, it's just going to help you. Right?
No.
Now, we have here ad-dama'ir al-munfasila, al-munfasala, naam, al-khasa bi-nasb hiya. The dama'ir, the pronouns which are separate, the attached or detached pronouns, which are mansub, then they are. Right? Then they are. And we talked about this before. Sometimes you have two maf'ulun bihis. And you don't want to mention every time the maf'ulun bihi by name. You want to use a pronoun. You don't want to say I hit I hit Asma, you want to say I hit her, for example. Or I made her a cake. You don't want to say I made Aisha a cake. You want to say I made her it. You want to use pronouns in both places. Right? So if I say ja'altu, I made her it, meaning basically I made her the cake, as an example. Ja'altu ha, I made her. Right? How am I going to attach it to it? Who? Ja'altu ha hu? La. Can't do that. Can't make this. This who needs to be mansub. I don't have to name it, but I can't just say who, referring to the cake. I have to add something. And so what we add is this iya. You guys hear me? I lost sound for some reason. I hear you guys now. Did you guys hear me when I wrote this iya?
Yeah.
Like we said, Iyaka na'budu wa iyaka nasta'in. I can't say ka, right? Na'budu. I can't say that. Right? And I can't say anta. Na'budu. I can't say that either. Why? Because anta is a marfu noun. Where here I'm trying to say we worship you, meaning anta is the object of the verb. But anta is not mansub. Anta is marfu. As we learned up here above when we read lil mukhatab. So this is for a marfu. I can't say anta na'budu. Ka is for being mansub or majroor. But since it's by itself, I have to add iyaka. The same way as in jazakallahu khairan. Jazakallahu khairan. Wa iyaka. Wa iyaka what? Right? Iyaka what? And may he make you also the wa and you too, and also the may he reward you with good. So may he make you the object of good as well. But I can't say wa anta, because anta is a marfu pronoun. It's marfu. So I can't say wa anta, because wa anta would mean may Allah reward you with good, and may you reward. If I tell you jazakallahu khairan and you said wa anta, then it would mean and you reward me with good too. Because anta is a marfu pronoun, and jazakallahu, Allahu lafzul jalala here is marfu. So to say wa anta would mean and you reward me with good as well. That's not what we're saying. We're saying and may he make you the object of a good reward as well. And so it has to be mansub. You want me to be the object of that good reward. And so it has to be mansub. It becomes iyaka. Iyaya, iyana, iyaka, iyaki, iyakuma, iyakum, so on and so forth. Iyakunna, iyahu, iyaha, iyahuma, iyahum, iyahunna. Right? Is that clear?
No. So now, put that back up in your head when you're saying ja'altu in the ending. Then you had, but you didn't have iyak up there, but you had
iyahu.
Well, yeah, you did iyahu.
Right. For instance, ja'altuha iyahu.
So now that's saying
I made her it, or I made it for her.
For her.
Right.
Okay.
Or I made it for him. I made her it, basically. I made it for her. How you gonna translate it, right? But if I'm talking about if I'm talking about two pronouns that are both of the object of the verb, right? Then they're both gonna be mansub, but I can't attach just pronouns. I one after the other.
No.
So I have to put iya in order to make it this ha be able to be there, right? Without saying the word cake, right? So iya, this makes it a mansub, the damir mansub. It's not something that's used. It's something that's used often enough, but it's not something that's just like you know, every sentence or every, you know what I mean? But it does appear.
Yahoo.
Iyahu, iyaha, iyaka, iyaya, iyana, whatever. Right? If you have a pronoun, if you have a noun that is maf'ulun bihi, that is mansub, right? And you want to, it is mansub, and you want to use the pronoun instead of the word itself, instead of the name of the item or whatever itself, and you want to use a pronoun, if you cannot attach it to the verb, right, because something else is already attached there, then you have to use this e or iya for it. You understand? I cannot say ja'altuha hu. No. If I want to attach a pronoun here, another pronoun, another maf'ulun bihi, I have to use iya in front of it. Iyaka, whatever the case. You understand?
Yeah, I know that, but I'm trying to, with the ha, you can say iyahu, iyaha, iyahi.
No, it's going to be iyahu here. Iyahu, who is for it. But if I made a feminine thing for her, say I made a table for her. Table is tawila. It's feminine. Ja'altuha iyaha.
Okay, that's what I was trying to figure out. Okay.
No problem. Right? Or ja'altuka. I made for you it. Whatever. Right? No problem.
I made for you a table. It. I made for you it.
Right. As an example. Right? So, yep. The last section here, and we'll close out today. And we will have pretty much caught up. Right? If we can get them all done. We might not be able to get them all done. We'll see. Ad-damir. No, we just did a damir al-muttasal. No, we won't be able to get them all done. We'll do damir al-muttasal. Ad-damir al-muttasal, the attached pronouns. We won't get to the mustatir al-yawm. But we'll do ad-damir al-muttasal, the attached pronouns. Ad-damir al-muttasal huwa alladhi la yuntaqu bihi wahdahu. It is what is not pronounced by itself. Like we said, ka, ki, hu, ha, I, na. We don't say that, right? We don't pronounce them like that, right? وَيَتَّصِلْ دَائِمًا بِكَلِمَةٍ أُخْرَى. And it's always attached to another word. That's clear. This is just a definition, you know, for someone who's getting real deep and detailed into it. It's just a definition to distinguish this from that, right? A scientific definition. الضمائر المتصلة بالأفعال. The pronouns which are attached to verbs, وهي خاصة برفع, and they are specific to being marfu'. They are the ta, the alif اثنين, the waw al-jama'a, the noon al-niswa, and the ya al-mukhataba. Right? They're attached to nouns. I mean verbs. So a ta, right? A ta, for instance, ja'altu. I did it. Right? That's the fa'il is marfu'. Ja'altu, ja'alta, ja'alti. You did it. Male or female. That's the fa'il. That's the doer. So it's marfu'. Alif al-ithnain. Right? Taj'alani, yaj'alani. Right? They're the ones doing it. It's marfu'. Right? Noon and niswa. Which, you know, we already know what that is, right? And what ya al mukhataba, right? Taj'alina, right? These are what's attached to. These are going to be, and inshallah ta'ala, what we're going to do here, I'm gonna stop here, and that way tomorrow I'll already have my verb chart pulled up, and I already have the verbs written out as far as on the different forms, and then we can look at it better, and this will make more sense. That sounds better?
Hell, you want to do it?
Yeah, that sounds better. I mean, because it gives me time to put my verb chart up there, and I already have the verbs, so I can show you versus writing each of them out, and it'll be having a picture there will be much clearer, inshallah ta'ala. Tayyib.
Inshallah.
And we did 15 rules today, so that's good, inshallah ta'ala. Tomorrow we'll do another 10 or 15, and we'll almost be done, inshallah. Tayyib.
Inshallah.
Jazakallah khairan, ya akhwan. Is the translation, are you guys looking at it?
No.
Is it helping out?
That's why I was reading while you were talking.
Okay.
Trying.
I can barely hear you, Amir. You said something?
Yeah, I was saying. You hear me now?
Sound distant.
What about now?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay. Yeah, I said definitely going over it, then getting the PDF what you sending us. Yeah, it make plenty of sense.
Yeah.
Because now, you know what I'm saying, you can look at it back at the Arabic and you catching it with the English. You know, it's basically, you know, we got some type of familiar with it already, so it kind of like it clicks. It click a little bit easier.
Right. And you know, like I said, this is a review, so you can now take it back and go back to the original book and try to do more exercises further than we went in the class itself, and you can just play around with it. I mean, you know, look at sentences and work with it. Inshallah, that's the hope, you know. And alhamdulillah, it's good to hear that it's good. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. So inshallah, I'll send this, what we did today, out, and I'll have the chart ready for tomorrow. I didn't necessarily know we were going to get this far, so I didn't think about having it ready. But inshallah ta'ala, I'll have it ready for tomorrow. We'll cruise through it and we'll knock this out, bi'idhnillah. See you brothers tomorrow. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Salam.